Welcome everybody to the Burris Moonlight Series pre-race show. My name is Cody Workman. Alongside me is Nick Narowski. Tonight we will be doing the Hawkeye State 250 at Iowa Speedway. Nick, we saw quite the entertaining race last week at Texas. What are you expecting here tonight at the short track?
Man, thanks for having me, Cody, and Midnight Broadcasting Network. That was a great race at Texas, and I'm expecting the same here at Iowa. Iowa, this short track, a lot of running room. It's wide, a few lanes, but there are little obstacles to get over, like those seams. So, I'd like to see who can really get around them the best.
Absolutely. So part of our pre-race tradition, we want to take you guys around the track a little bit. So we go right on board with the three car.
Get back out there. Let's go.
So one thing that I feel like a lot of people mistake for this race track, yes, it is a short track designed by Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace. Well, no, sorry, Rusty. I watch too much YouTube. Designed by Rusty Wallace. There we go. Located in Newton, Iowa, just east of the state capital of Des Moines, Iowa. So a lot of people are going to be hanging around the bottom of here in turns 1 and 2. You go down here again in the 3 and 4. People are going to be hugging this bottom a lot. Now here's another option for a line that you may see some guys use as the run goes on. So we're going to go down to 1 and 2 here. But about halfway up the racing surface, you get to the secondary banking. But actually, not really transitional banking. It is a sharp transition from flat to higher bank. It will give you a little demonstration if people get on that scene. Well, I got a piece up on so I'm not going to spin up. But
Yeah,
you get guys.
Well.
Yeah, but if you get guys with just a little bit of a loose setup, you go over this transition right here, you'll see guys getting loose or possibly spinning out.
Yeah, it's easy to spin out too. It kind of just catches you by surprise when you hit it, and the same thing down towards the bottom of the entrance in 3. So let's see who's got a tight enough car to get around the track, but loose enough to bring in that speed, hug that turn. Good job there, man. That was a good lap. Let's see if they can run as well as you.
Preset one, that wasn't too bad. So,
Yeah, that was
alrighty, so here we go. We're going to see what our, let's see, 50% race tonight. So, that being said, it's going to be 125 laps. Stages will be on. And these guys will have ×3 fuel where as once the race starts, they'll be able to go on board with some of our guys and see about what they are projected to do for fuel. So we saw last week, Nick, that there were quite a few cautions. A couple times there was some green flag racing.
Yeah.
But towards the end, it was a scenario of cautions breed cautions. So what kind of car do you think that these guys need to set up for? Do they need to set up for that long, for take a chance on a longer run, or are they got to think like, oh, you know what, there's a lot of cautions, maybe we should just focus on the short run speed?
Oh man, see that's tough to tell. With the stages, it gives you an opportunity to, experiment a tiny bit. Hopefully these guys ran a few mock runs to see what works best for them. The restarts are going to be kind of scary if you've got a loose car, if you got a loose short run car that might, just spin around in turn 1 while you got guys breathing down your neck. So it's going to be tough to call. What do you think, Cody? What do you think is going to be a good type of setup to have for this race tonight?
Well, I think a key thing is going to come into play where if you have guys that can handle that outside lane, as those tires wear off, the car's gonna get a little bit tighter. But if you have a tighter car, the best place to make that car turn is with the higher banking. But to be able to use that higher lane almost, you need to have a car that opens. If you accidentally hit that transitional part of the banking, that you can hang on to it. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one of those races that we're not really going to know what to expect until the green flag flies.
Yeah, and I don't think these drivers are going to know what to expect either. And the tough part is playing the crew chief as well. So if it does become a caution breed caution type of race, then man, they're really going to be steaming about what to do. It'll be cool to watch. A very exciting race, and can't wait for this to get started. It looks like they may be starting qualifying in a few minutes.
Actually, it
Spent
looks
some
like
extra time.
they're just wrapping up qualifying right now. A little bit lighter field this week.
Oh,
We've seen anywhere from about 11 to 13 cars on the roster, and nowhere near the amount of cars that we had last week. I believe we had somewhere in the range of 16 to 18 cars, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to imagine maybe if there are less cars on track, less people moving back and around, less people jockeying position, maybe that could open the door for some longer runs tonight.
yeah, it really could. You know, there's a lot of room here. From my experiences, it is pretty easy to give people the space they need. Little bumps aren't going to do too much. You can kind of get out of it. You got space. I think it'll go green for quite a while. These guys are talented. Watching last week, I was really shocked. You know, being the first time getting to do this, they did a great job, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
All right, well, as the drivers are getting set with some final preparations, final adjustments for qualifying, we're going to take a short break to make sure that we got stuff situated on our end. This is the Hawkeye State 250 at Iowa Speedway on the Midnight Broadcasting Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Burris Moonlight Series pre-race show. My name's Cody Workman, alongside Nick Narowski. Before we get started here, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Burris Tires, the official sponsor for the Moonlight Series, and also an affiliate for our other leagues, Ronin Imports, which is our main sponsor for Moonlight's Truck Series and select races in the Xfinity Series, in this Moonlight Series. And also some additional affiliates. Shout out to Pocono Raceway, who is a supporter of our Cup Series. Travis Braden, ARCA Series driver. And Tanner Berryhill, who is a NASCAR Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series driver. We very much appreciate the support from the national well-known level that these esports guys are getting. So as we look ahead at the race for tonight, there's a couple guys that really showed their strength last week at Texas. Nick, who are some guys that you're going to be keeping an eye on tonight to see if they can carry over that momentum from last week?
Oh wow. You know, I'd like to see how Jay Hyper does. I've seen that name a lot. He's real good. Another guy I'd like to see is how well RJ Smitty does. I raced with him in a league last year. He's always fast, always up there. I was always wondering what the heck is he doing to that truck. We were in a truck league, and what is he doing to get that thing so fast? Or was it the raw talent? I'd like to see how he can bring that in to this race tonight. But Cody, who do you got your eyes on?
I'll tell you what, one of the biggest heartbreakers, in my opinion, last week was the 19 car of Noco. He was up front those last 5 laps at Texas, leading not only three Cup Series guys, but 3 NASCAR Heat Pro League racers. And the amount of stress and nervousness that was on that kid's shoulders, I swear that he was just trying to keep the car straight. And unfortunately, got into a couple scenarios of overtime restarts, and he got shuffled to the back. But he came back and finished strong in second. So that is one kid that I'm going to be looking on. And it looks like we actually just got our official starting lineup, so we're going to get ready to go racing here in 2 minutes. So here we go. On the front row in the number 61 car is Buck, and starting outside of him, outside pole, the 60 car of Big D Destroyer. In row 2, the number 22 car of Diesel Piles, alongside him the 23 car of Jay Hyper. In row 3, starting positions 5 and 6, you have the 19 car of NOCO and the 89 car of Spenker. In row 4, in positions 7th and 8th, is the 00 of Bulldog, and the 3 car, you may recognize this guy who's with us in the booth last week, Razor Sharp. He's able to make the race this week in that 3 car, starting in the 8th position. Starting in row 5, in position number 9, is the 16 car of RJ Smitty, and alongside him the 21 car of NRG. In row 6 is the 88 car of Spenker. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. And the 88 car is from the back, and the 98 car is Republican. And starting in the last row is the 20 car of a guy I do not have. So we're going to see who is starting in that number 20 car once this race gets going. A little bit of a mystery driver.
Yeah, all right. Hey, you know what? I feel like we should have given a shout out to our co-booth anchor here, Razor. Let's see how well he can do. Room for your bud. Be fun to watch. You know, the starting order looks pretty good here. Thanks for going through that, and can't wait to see these guys get up on the track.
Absolutely. So as part of protocol, once we get our invites from the admins, we will hop on in there. The guys are going to take 1 lap, maybe 2 laps, just because it's a short track and it may take some extra time to get the running order set. But we are moments away from getting the green flag here at Iowa Speedway. Take a quick 30-second, 60-second break, and we will be right back with you with the start of the Hawkeye State 250 at Iowa Speedway.
Well, it looks like we're getting our invites here, and definitely want to thank the viewers. VA Redleg saying good luck to these drivers.
You may want to send me an invite, because I
do.
actually did not get one.
Yeah, got you. Looks like they've got a few seconds until they go racing, and I got another invite. Did you get that one?
I did not get that one.
Get that over to you.
Did you send that at all?
No.
There we go.
Back in a sec, and they'll start lining up, take those pace laps or lap.
Alrighty, so as we're getting ready for the green flag here, we're going to do this a little bit earlier. Who is your pick or got to keep an eye on for the race tonight?
I still think Jay Hyper and RJ Smitty. I'd like to see how they fare out here tonight. I was looking at the leaderboard for fastest laps of the day here, and RJ Smitty was at the top. It didn't look like he had the best of qualifying results, but hey, he can make his moves. Maybe he wants to kind of work his car out here.
I'm going to say keep an eye on that 19 car. He is out for vengeance after the result from last week. But here they come right here at the Geico restart zone. And we are underway at Iowa Speedway.
Looking on back from the 22. Still 2x2, but they spread out pretty quickly. It looks like, I think the 89 was into a few cars in the back, and they're spinning. Maybe a caution from that.
And it is a caution.
And there we go.
As it looks like the 60 car of Big D Destroyer may have gotten around the 61 car of Buck Racing right before that caution came out.
Yeah, see,
So
this is kind of one of those things, you know, is that seam going to get you? And I think it may have gotten the 89.
Absolutely. So it looks like, I'm trying to get a number of how much. It looks like this first stage is going to be roughly 29 laps. And I'm waiting to see what the fuel window looks like. Says these guys can go about 50 laps on a tank of fuel. So they would easily be able to sort of get to the end of this stage with no problem.
Yeah, I'd like to see how their tires fare out too, as they're about to go green here.
Here we go, the 60 car, Big D Destroyer is going to lead down to the green. Jay Hyper to his outside. Restart number 2, we're underway.
Looking on, the 60 car gets a nice lead. He's by himself. What looks like that 00 and the 23 are side by side for second, third, fourth place by himself, but looking at that 16 car.
Top four is starting to break themselves away from the rest of the field, as from about 5th on back, this guy's jockeying around. And there's the 23 car of Jay Hyper using that outside lane that we were talking about pre-race.
Wow, the battling's pretty good. You're right about that split up, but in the back there, they definitely want to get to the front. Looks like the 23 had a little wiggle there.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten on that transition
up.
of that apron. Well, not the apron, but he hit that transition off of 3 and 4, and it looks like he's even losing more ground, and he hit the apron. As you can see that just out of view on your camera, and guys are trying to swim around him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of holding on to that, dude, because like I mentioned before, once it'll just snap out on you, but he's doing a good job. Looks like he had some practice. He may have set it up a little loose, but that might tighten up throughout a run.
Riding on board with the 00 car of Bulldog right now, sitting comfortably in the 3rd position. So far, it looks like these top 3 Fords are all running that same line, currently taking the bottom way, the short way around the racetrack. Now that these guys are spread out a little bit, it'll be interesting to see as this run goes on, if you go green the rest of the way, maybe those guys start transitioning from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, I'm watching the 22 right now, and he's using the top line in 1 and 2, and he's doing really well at getting that momentum off the corner. Last lap, he stayed on the inside in 3 and 4, but this time he's got no room. He's going to make that pass around the 20 on the outside. He's just about cleared. It's a nice move by the 22.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I say if you have a car that handles great in traffic, especially along that outside lane, I say go up there, because not a lot of people know how to run that outside lane, and while everyone's riding the inside, getting backed up on the bottom, that is a great way to try to make up time.
It definitely is. As we look at the 60 car in the lead right now, he hasn't made too much space on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, who are riding right nose to tail pretty much. But I think if they line up, they may be able to get to him. As it looked like, is that the 00 who's going for 2nd?
Bulldog making his way around the 16 car of, I believe, RJ Smitty. And as he pulls away from the rest of the pack, see if he can chase down that 60 car.
Let's see if we can get NRG up in the booth with us here. He may have had an issue on track.
Yeah, he's down on pit road. He may have had a connection issue or something. Oh, I gotta
I just suggested him if...
I gotta back out and go on blue screen if he needs to jump in.
Yeah, if you want to just go to blue screen for a sec, I'll keep an eye on the track here for you, as they seem pretty spread out. They're all running kind of the same line, these drivers. It's going pretty well. I thought that maybe the 00 after he got around for second was going to make some ground on that 60, but it's actually the other way around. That 60's pulling away now. He may have noticed that there was some moves going on back there. They're singling out, and he's like, all right, I'm getting on it now. He's doing a great job riding that bottom line and then drifting up the track coming out of turn 2. He's really hugging that line. It's scary to hug that line, and I feel in 3 and 4, because if you hit it a tiny bit, you could easily go around just like hitting those seams.
So right now the gap between first and second, 1.2 seconds, and actually make it 1.3 seconds as 60 car of Destroyer looks to be about 1/10 a lap per quicker, as we got about 14 laps to go to stage.
Got 11 laps left in this stage, and looks like some fast lap times being run right now. It is pretty spread out. You know, I wonder what kind of adjustments these guys are thinking about making. You know, the guys that may be in the back, they're seeing these drivers kind of pull away. What do I need to do to get this car moving a bit? Is it my driving line? Is it the car itself? You know, sometimes the car is just not manageable. You can't drive it, and you got to be real easy on it. What can they do? But it's going to be fun to see.
Well,
sure.
this three-way battle for second has now turned into 4 cars into the picture. Here comes the 19 car of Noko. Noko down to the inside of the track of the 16 car of RJ Smitty. 16 car going to try to get that run off the outside. Going to try a crossover down here in the 1 and 2, but it looks like the 19 car is going to be able to hold that and pursue for that 3rd place position.
Yeah, that 19 car didn't want him to have that inside line. He got down there. Maybe judged it a little too early, but the 16 car giving him room. He knows it's early on in the race. We'll see how that fares out later on. But this is a nice close battle here. 16 may have gotten down to the apron a little too soon. He's going to drift up the track, have to get out of the throttle a bit.
Right now, top 5 still using that same lineup around the bottom of the racetrack. Don't see many guys right now drifting up towards that outside unless they're trying to make moves.
Yeah, I think maybe the 22 was trying to do that, as the 3 is easily getting around him. 22 may have been trying to make some ground up on the outside wall, could have scrubbed it, but he wants that spot back from the 3.
Yeah, that's the closest battle on track right now between the 3 car of Razor Sharp and the 22 car of Diesel.
And that 60 car is still pulling away real well with the 00 right behind him.
And 60 car
and
of Destroyer has pulled away, has grown his lead to 1.7 seconds over the 00 car of Bulldog. Here's your leader. And as we see behind him right now, the battle for second, you have the 61 cars starting to close back up again of Bulldog.
Yeah, and Noko in that 19 is making some ground there. It looked like the 61 wiggled a bit, got into the wall, really trying to make some moves on the 00, but I'm not sure if he's going to have time.
61 car of Bug Racing and the 19 of Noko were your 2 highest finishing Moonlight Series regulars last week. Both of them finishing 2nd and 3rd to race winner Babs. Both of them proved that they had speed last week, and you can see that again tonight.
Yeah, definitely a lot of speed out of these guys, as it looks to be 4 laps to go in the first stage. Yeah, Big Destroyer, he's really spread himself away from these guys, but as it's coming to an end, it looks like that 00's making a bit of ground. Maybe the 60's just kind of relaxing a bit. He knows he's got a big buffer in between him and that 00 Bulldog, but you know, things could change. Bulldog can make some adjustments. He might find something. You never know. The 60 car might fall off.
The 61 just hit the wall, and the 19 ran to the back of him. That backed up those 2 cars into the clutches of the 16 and the 23. So one little mistake by the 61 has now made this 3rd place battle from a 2-car battle into a 4-car battle.
Definitely did, but they did a good job rebounding from that. There's looks like they're 2 to go there, coming to 1 to go. The leader just is passing through, and I think
car of Jay Hyper trying to gain some momentum, using that outside line for a run going into 23, as the white flag for stage 1 is out.
Wow, I'm not sure if you saw that going into 3. The 19 made a bold move, diving deep down, and it looks like that was the stage end right there. Okay.
Yep. So your stage 1 winner is Big D Destroyer, following Bulldog in 2nd, Noco 3rd, RJ Smitty 4th, and Jay Hyper in 5th. So here we go.
Yeah, that was a strong move there.
So yeah, we're going to have pit stops, you can imagine here. And this is about what you want as a driver. To have like a good 20-lap run in this first stage, so to know what your car does for the longer run, especially like to have an idea of what they need to do towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and looking at the pits there, seeing how he had 52% on that right front tire at the end of that, these guys are doing a great job holding on as these tires are wearing out.
So here we go, back for the restart again. The 20 car of X-Intimidator pulling some strategy to come out in front of the 60 car. A Big Destroyer
like
back on the way.
Yeah, he did not pit.
Did not pit, so that's going to... Oh, that's going to back up the inside line. It's going to back up the 00 Bulldog. And that's
there's a lot of movement in the back. Looked like the 88 is spinning in the back as they're dancing around.
And it is
now the
clustered right there for the top 5, and we're under caution. So yeah,
wow,
a lot of stuff happening there. It's a good thing that, tell you what, if a caution flag didn't come out for that incident in the back, there would have been a caution for what was going on in that top 5. It was about 3-4 wide guys making moves on the apron.
Oh man, yeah, this is good news for the 20. If I were the 20, I'd say, okay, I'm coming down now. I think he did a great job holding on. That he did. You're right. If there wasn't going to be a caution in the back, there was going to be one in the front. These guys are killing it though. Let's see who plays a little strategy. They only, ran half a lap there.
Yep. And I think people now, even guys who are not the 20 car, they saw what the 20 car did, and they're like, oh, okay, now we know that strategy does not work. We're going to make sure we hit every time if we go a certain amount of laps without a caution. So here we go.
Yeah.
Back under green, running along with the 22.
Yeah, the 60 car, he's back to the lead with the 00 starting 2nd on the outside. With that 19 in Noco, he still wants some revenge from last week. He's taken 2nd away from that 00. Looks like the 88 into the inside wall. These guys in the back are really fighting hard. Let's see if a caution comes out.
Oh, the 19 car underneath the 60 puts him in the wall.
Wow. I wonder what happened there with that 60. It didn't look like too much, but another caution's coming out.
I think it looked like the 60 car that he was probably going to hit the wall, but I think the 19 car gave him a little bit of an extra motivator.
Yeah, motivation, right? Sure. Yeah, motivation to get back to him later on. Let's see if he remembers that.
Destroyer, one of our Cup Series regulars, And tell you what, that's maybe something you may want to, you know, depending on what kind of fan you are, whether you're a fan of, you know, Cup guys coming down to the lower level, if you like seeing them run, or if you like seeing these guys in the lower level take it to the Cup guys, like, hey, this is our series, we don't move over for anybody.
Yeah, man, they're going to be fighting him hard. These regulars want to win. I want to give another shout out to guys watching the race. We got Deadpool. He wishes he was in here. I wish he was in here as well. AJ Storm, loving these group of guys. I think I'd say the same. I don't know about you, Cody, as we go green.
Absolutely. Green flag back out after caution number 4, I believe, and we're back underway.
The 19 car's got the lead. 00 on the outside again. 00's nice. I thought the 00 was going to get some momentum on the outside, but that 19 hung with it. As the 19 goes up the track, he's going to get into the wall. He tried to get in the gas a little early.
Oh,
he comes down to 00.
Around goes the 19.
That 22.
Huge crash. Huge
wow,
crash on the front stretch.
Huge crash. Let's see what that does for the lineup.
Well, 12 cars, but we still got the same amount of carnage.
That's right. It's a good thing there's no damage on. Or, hey, maybe that'd make it a little interesting.
So, yeah, it's going to be about 15, 14 laps to go in the stage. But you got to imagine, okay, do they realize, okay, we're starting to get into a trend here. Maybe we should settle it down a little bit?
I think you're right, man. Cody, they're going to settle it down in a few minutes. It's really looking good on my end. Maybe they're just trying to see what their car can and can't do. Kind of like how the 19 coming out of 4 there. He got in the gas a little early. He knew the wall was there. He was thinking, is this car going to hit it? Is it not? I'm sticking in it. I'll learn something for later.
You know, get ready for the green flag again. The number 22 car of Diesel was Jay Hyper, Bulldog, and Spencer in the 89.
Little cleaner of a restart. They might be going 3 wide. 16 car up the track into the wall, but he stays away from everyone. 88 is kind of moving around. 61 down the track. 22 still got the lead, but that 00 wanted to make a move.
23 Jay Hyper way on the outside, trying to make something happen. Going to hit the wall a little bit, and he smacks the wall, taking out the rest of the field.
Taking out the back of the pack. Hey, you know, they got a lap in there. Things were looking good. Let's see how many more laps they can get under green flag before the stage ends.
Going to go back to green with roughly 10 laps to go, as we are now joined in the booth by the driver of the number 21 car, NRG. NRG, we saw you start the race there earlier. What happened?
Well, I was going down the back stretch. I thought I hit the share button twice on the controller, and I only hit it once. So that screen popped up on the left to take a screenshot, or give you all the options to share.
You hit circle
it was
once
up there
many
on the
times,
left, and I hit circle to try to back out of that screen, and instead I disconnected. So here we are.
Man, that's
hey, we all have one of those moments. That's all right. But hey, you know what? The more the merrier up in the booth here. We're gonna have a good time as we are back underway with roughly 10 laps to go in stage 2. 22 at Diesel.
Hey, Enoch, I know I set you a second and go ahead. Sorry about that.
22 car leads a 00 of Bulldog, followed by a 3 car of Razor Sharp, who was with us in the booth last week, proving, hey, I can do both jobs. I can drive and I can commentate.
He does do that, and trying to join through you.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can get you in here.
I sent you a second invite, Enoch.
Right.
If you can back out,
I'm going in there now
on that one.
Yep, and I'll send one to you.
I appreciate that.
We still got this nice live race going. They're going pretty well now. Oh,
and back under caution again. I believe that 88 car spun out in the back. There were guys all on the apron in turns 3 and 4. And so far, stage 2 has been a sharp contrast to stage 1. Stage 1, we only had 1 caution on lap 1 and went green the rest of the way. And so far, we've only maybe had about 1 lap of green flag racing so far in stage 2.
This is a tough track. This is one of them tracks. I mentioned it before. We've had a couple races here in Midnight at with the trucks and Xfinity at Iowa, and anytime that I've been in the booth for them or been on a track and have been interviewed in the past, the middle of the track is not your friend, especially with these Xfinity cars.
Absolutely,
it's
you
about
gotta
as
be
bad
either
as
way, you gotta be way
being at,
low against the line, or you gotta be high up against the wall.
Yep, it's just like Kansas. The trucks at Kansas, you can kind of run a little all over the place, but them seams are there, they're obvious, and if you try to drift up, get that high exit speed, if your setup's not prepared for it, you cross one of them seams, it's over for you.
Yeah,
We took
that
the green
restart,
flag right there
that
with
double
6 laps to
zero.
go.
That double zero just pulled away from the second and third place cars, the 3 on the inside, 19 on the outside. Oh man, it looks like the 23 of Jay Hyper's giving the 3 a little bump. 3 may have gotten a little slow, 19 up the track, he may have gotten that seam up there, and oh, he's spinning around. He went from third place all the way to about 10.
I'm going to say the only car right now that can feel somewhat happy right now is that double zero Bulldog. He is the only car that doesn't have... He is the only driver right now that does not have a car within 2 feet of his bumper.
Yeah, and that 60 car is trying to make moves on that 3 and the 23, but he got a little mixed up with the outside of the 3 car. Going in, around 1 and 2, got the 23 out to second.
So 61 hit the apron a little bit, but nice save as they got behind him. We're going 3 wide.
Yeah, the 60 car sees him breathing down his neck, so he wants to get away from there as quick as possible. It looks like it should be easy as the 16 and 61 are kind of getting into each other.
Which
Three
car
laps,
is in the lead right now?
three laps to go. 3 laps to go right now in stage 2.
You got the double zero Bulldog.
Double zero Bulldog right now leading 23 of Jay Hyper, followed by Razor Shark and 60 of Big D Destroyer, who's going to make that pass on the 3 car of Razor.
Well, you just mentioned the 2 names, Bob. Originally I was going to be up here with you guys, but then things changed. And if I would have been up here at the beginning of the race and I had to make a pick for the race, my first pick would have been Bulldog. My second one probably would be Big D, and then I've been talking to a few of these guys in here, and they've been grinding all week on a setup. This is a tough track to get it dialed in.
They come off turn number 4 to the finish of stage 2. Stage 2 winner is going to be that double zero of Bulldog. But we mentioned at the top of the show, Nick, actually you did, that one of the guys that you were going to keep an eye on was that 23 car of Jay Hyper. And even though he wasn't going to catch him at the end of that stage, he was definitely closing on him towards the end of it.
Yeah, and you definitely want to have a good stage finish here. You want to start up front with a little bit of clean air, try and pull away. We've been seeing a lot of cautions, try and stay up there the best you can. Destroyer with that great win in stage 1, he really dominated that long green flag run. He worked his way up to 3rd here. I'd like to see how he fares.
Absolutely. Big D got his first cup win, was that last week or the week before here at Midnight? Well, that was last week. It was, everyone ran out of gas coming out of turn 4. But there's a lot of guys in here. Yeah, you can never count Jay out. Jay's a regular in here, and he was dominant. Week in, week out, he always has fun.
Starting the stage 3 right now, looks like no one tried any strategy under that last caution other than just 4 tires and fuel. Double zero of Bulldog leads him down to turn number 1 and off 2. It's a 60 car of Big D Destroyer, who was your stage 1 winner. Going for the lead, but this is a huge...
Huge wreck. I was with the 22 there, and he made such a nice move on the outside around.
But you know what?
That I
don't think the game's going to throw this a caution right now. They are still moving.
No, that's...
And 23 car goes way up the track.
Yeah, staying away from that 60.
Look at that run that 23 car gets onto the double zero. He came out of nowhere.
And he's right up against that wall.
Yep, there is no in between here. Like I said before, that middle of that track, it is deadly. And I've always persuaded people, if you're on a restart and your car's not up to speed, if you're starting on the outside lane, run it to the fence going into turn 1, because, you know, if someone's going to get underneath you, chances are they won't be underneath you when you come out of turn 2.
Nick, at the top of the show, we talked about who's going to be the first guy or one of the guys to try to make a move on that outside lane, and Jay Hyper has allowed the outside lane to show up, takes the lead, dives it underneath the double zero.
Wow,
look at that. That
was a great move. And
that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Hey,
but the double zero is like, hey, you know what? I'm not letting you run away with this thing.
That 23 was going in that middle line. He was trying to push that double zero down a bit. It looks like they're going to fight a little bit. Double zero giving him some room, getting on the bottom there. Oh, man, this is exciting to watch. But, yeah, that 23, Jay Hyper, he's able to run all around this track, it looks like, as he made that beautiful slide job for the lead.
Well, we had some great racing here so far at the beginning of Stage 3, but, Nick, you know what we haven't done yet tonight?
Yeah, I
think we haven't done our little segment called Full Throttle. For all you guys watching tonight's stream, hope you're enjoying it. Crank that volume button all the way up. Time to go full throttle around these guys at the short track at Iowa under the lights.
Hey.
Working 54 laps to go here at Iowa Speedway. Your top three right now are Jay Hyper, the 23, the 00 Bulldog, and the 23 of Diesel, and the 22 of Diesel, who is all over the back bumper of that 00.
You know, one thing that I really like about these full throttle segments is it gives you some time to listen to these cars. I was going back and forth between the leader 23 Jay Hyper and that 00 there, Bulldog, listening to those motors, and that 23 just sounded a little more wound up, and it's kind of showing here. I mean, that 23's pulling away. Another thing I saw, the 60 had a little bobble with the 22. It got him pushed back a bit, but he's making moves, and it looks like there might be a battle for second.
Yep, 22 car of Diesel's going to look underneath the 00 of Bulldog, still going to stay side by side. But the 00 was able to use that run off the high side to try to stay up in front of the 22.
That 23 car, he has a setup that's in there. I don't think he's going to have to make any adjustments to it. I'm telling you though, Diesel, he's, you know, one of as of now, I'm not really sure where he stands. I know he's a full-time Xfinity now, but he also has been in our Cup Series, and he has fared well. I think he won our most exciting race this season, which was the side-by-side finish at Las Vegas, week 3 or 4. Diesel,
right now, that
he has what it takes.
Car, yeah, as we're talking about Diesel, he's actually trying to use that move, which I believe so far has been the move of the race, back at the start of stage number 3 with the 23 of Jay Hyper, just absolutely full throttled his way around the 00, using that outside lane to get around him into the lead. And he didn't just take the lead, he has now pulled away by about a 2-second lead.
You know what he loves? he loves seeing what's going on behind him. You got guys battling for second place. Ain't nobody gonna catch him if you got guys battling behind you.
Well, the 22 of Diesel was finally able to get around that 00 of Bulldog, so it's going to be interesting to see if the 22 of Diesel can run that 23 car down.
Yeah, and speaking about battles, I was just watching a nice battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th there, and man, that 19 car Noco, I think he's going to be making a lot of ground here. And one thing for sure, now that it's spread out and we didn't have that caution, which was unbelievable, you got to think about strategy here. Under that caution, after stage 2, I got a glimpse of how many laps were left and what the estimated fuel was going to be like. And they're not going to have enough gas. There was about 66 laps in the 3rd stage, and they get 55 or 62 laps, yeah, and 55
it's 52
laps of fuel. Oh, it's 52 or 62?
Yes, it's 52.
Okay. 52. All right. Well, it looked like they weren't going to have enough gas. Could be wrong. We're going to see here for sure. I'd like to see how this pans out. I want to give another shout out to these to the viewers here. Awesome crowd, you know, giving us a lot of support, giving the crew driving a ton of support as well. Like I said, AJ, VA, Redleg, Bronx, TJ McGowan, man, you know, keep it up, guys. Keep watching. Bring those viewers along. We're having a blast doing this. I think these drivers are having a blast, and you know, I hope you are as well.
Well, tell you what, with that being said, right now, when we look at the amount of laps that are left, there are 44 laps to go, so everyone is in their pit window right now. So you got to imagine, if you're a guy towards the back, obviously you got to do something different than these leaders. So what do you do in these next couple laps? In these next couple laps, if these leaders don't pit, do you come down and make your stop, or do you just stay out there?
I'm not sure, man, because this is one of them tracks, man. It doesn't matter if you're running it 1 time, 2 times, 3 or 4. It does not matter. You are pitting for tires before you are pitting for gas. You will blow a right front tire before you have to pit for gas.
See, that's the good thing about having you in here, NRG. You know, you were prepared for this race, and you've got a lot of insight on what these guys are going to do. But do you think anyone's going to make a gamble?
If they do, they're going to regret it, I imagine, because, I mean, I'm just saying, if somebody goes in and takes 2 tires, your left side tires are going to be shot, but they won't be as completely shot as your right sides. But at the same time, there was a good instance. We had a race here a few months back, and a lot of guys went in with their esports when we were doing the esports a couple months back, and they're set up for that. And quickly we realized that it was not built for the long run.
So it looks like the 61 car just hit pit road, so maybe there is some strategy being played here.
I would like to see some strategy to be played, because it'll make things interesting. I can actually go over to the Chevy chat as an in-race reporter. I'll go see what's going on with these guys, and as long as Enoch, if you can send me another invite back to the party chat, I will join you guys as soon as I get done talking to these guys.
I think that since you already joined, you should be able to join right back in if you find us in the
right now, the 61 car, a Buck Racing.
That looked like a quick.
That was send me another invite just in case.
Yeah, that was a quick pit stop. Yeah.
So you gotta imagine he only take 2 tires or just fuel.
I feel like
we gotta go up front right now as our leader starting to encounter lap traffic. And tell you what, we were asking earlier what would happen if the 22 car got around Bulldog, if he was going to be able to catch Jay Hyper. Well, the exact opposite is happening. Jay Hyper has now grown his lead now to a 2.5 second lead over Diesel in that 22 car.
Wow. And was that the 20 car that was right around the 23? Is he going a lap down there?
Yep, he was just going a lap down.
That's unfortunate for him. You know, he made a nice move there. I give him a ton of credit for trying not pitting after leave the first stage, but you know, he may be able to make up some ground on some other drivers depending on strategy. As we saw, that 61 pitting early, and it was quick, probably 2 tires. I can't imagine wanting to be out there on no tires after seeing at the end of that stage where they had about 50, a little over 50% on the right front. I just wouldn't feel good going out there running like that. You know, you're going to be pushing up the track, you're going to be off the throttle a little more than you want to be. I'd want to play it a little safe. And you think about it, 2 tires, you save time on pit road, but you're losing time on the track. How is that going to differentiate? Is it going to even out? You're going to lose more time. You know, it's hard to come up with that math, and these guys are having to do all of it at once.
Yep, they have to do that math while trying to battle for position. As we see the 00 and the 22 battling up for second. New second place driver right now with Bulldog. Also, we can report also that the 16 car a couple laps ago came down for his final pit stop. But so far, make that as far as our knowledge, the 61 and the 16, the only drivers so far who have came down and made their final pit stops.
I love that view that you had on that pass with the 00 around the 22. Man, he really drove it in to that corner, but he made that thing stick. If I was the 22, I'd be a little worried. You know, thinking, all right, that was really good. How did he do that? As they just get around the 2020s up the track. Hopefully he's going to just hit pit road if he's having issues. The 23, the leader, down pit road.
23, Jay Hyper coming down for his final pit stop. And we're going to see if that causes a domino effect for the leaders behind him.
See, that's going to be kind of tough for that 00. He knows that 22 is right on his tail. With that 22 right on your tail, you got to be careful going in pit road. And that 22, he needs to give him a little space too, just in case. You don't want to be that guy that takes him out. But it looks like he's full throttle still, that 00. He's going for the long haul. You know, he may do a late pit and have some fresh tires for the end. Now, when you've got these long green flag runs and you're trying to think of when to pit,
off pit road.
When you think of when to pit, do you kind of go with, all right, when my tires hit this mark, I'm going to pit? You know, that's how I think sometimes. I don't know if you guys think any different.
NRG, you come back and you just joined us in the booth. Did you figure out anything? Did you learn anything?
Oh yeah, a lot of things. The Chevy guys are over there having a casual conversation about the Cars movies. That was pretty cool. No one was yelling at each other.
There we go.
They were just having casual conversation. They were just riding around, having a good time. So that's good to hear that everyone's having a good time. That's what this is about, first and foremost.
Right on board the 00 right now. 00 down pit road.
Yep.
And the 60 car is going to come down pit road too. We got 2 Fords coming down pit road right now. That leaves the 22 car as, I believe, one of the last front runners to still make his pit stop still.
Wow,
and I think that makes
60
him.
car.
He's 60 car. That 60 car.
22 is pitting this lap.
That 60 car made a move from the top to the bottom and actually gained a position.
What a beautiful
I tell you what.
I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I was
aboard the 23,
at this, dude. And it looked like
these guys are pitted right next to each other, so we're going to have a great idea to see who has the faster pit crew. We're going to leave it on right here. I want to see this.
The Chevy guys were pitting together. Everyone's pretty spread out
pit road,
right
the
now.
00 off pit road, and you see right there on your screen the 23 car has jumped out to an even bigger lead.
I tell you what, that 21 car looks pretty beautiful on pit road.
Yeah, I love that pace scheme, man. I love that pace scheme. I was running that in a league, so I was definitely using that scheme myself. Good choice, good taste there.
I'm a Toyota guy. Everyone here at Midnight knows that, but hey, I was trying to help out Deadpool tonight. I failed him. That's all right. It is what it is. But hey, here we are.
Looks like still a couple. Looks like a couple of those guys that were towards the back and got caught up in that earlier wreck on first lap of that phase 3 that it cost me to not come out are the guys that have not pitted yet.
Yeah, this 23 getting around that 89. It's always tough when you're getting around lap cars. Does he see me? How clean is he going to be? How much respect is he going to give me? Did I give him respect earlier on? What's going to happen here is the 98's coming up track right in front of this 23.
The guys who didn't pit have the advantage right now. Like I said before, these guys have the freshest tires. So, I mean, tires are important. If you don't have tires, you can't turn. So, I mean, with this many laps left, I don't care if you're a lap down. You can probably get your lap back and then a little bit more. So
currently 24 laps to go in the race.
Yeah, and they're not too far off the leader, it looks like.
No, we got 3 times wear on here too.
So yeah, we were talking about paint schemes earlier. We were talking about once these green flag pit stops cycle around, assuming the 23 will be the leader. Jay Hyper sporting the throwback of the late Rudy Allison in that number 23 car from his 1985. From his 1985 number 23 Miller American Buick.
Yeah, some beautiful paint schemes.
Buick.
So it looks like the 60 and the 22 were battling a bit. We knew the 00 was there. He lost a little bit of ground. May have had a stumble with one of those guys. But that 60 is pulling away a bit from the 22.
I'll tell you what, we're just noticing it now, but before that sequence of green flag pit stop, the 60 was behind the 22 and the 00. Now, with that amazing move that we saw him making on the pit road, he was able to leapfrog past both the 00 and the 22.
No, Big D, you can never count him out. Like I mentioned before I hopped over into the Chevy chat, he's riding on momentum right now. He's a good driver, really good guy, fun to talk to on a regular basis, really good guy. I wouldn't be surprised, unless his tires completely fall off. I imagine this is his race because it looks like. Is it the 60 that's in the lead right now?
Oh, right now it is the 23.
Or the 23, yeah.
Oh, it's the 20. Oh, so Jay's all right. Jay still maintaining. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Still trying to get.
He has.
An accurate telemetry here. Right now it's showing. I'm watching Bulldog stream right now as my method for knowing who's in who, and it shows that he's in 5th. So that makes Diesel in 4th. So that makes Diesel in 4th. Big E Destroyer stage 1 winner is sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like the 60 car is about half a straightaway behind, but it looks like he's making up ground every lap. I think he's got time. I think he has enough time to get up there.
What do you guys say? Late race?
17
late race caution?
17 laps to go. You think that's enough time to catch him under June?
I think he's going to catch him. I think Jay is starting to get. He was getting hung up a little by lap cars, but you can see right in front of the 60 or 2 as well. That could slow him down.
Actually, it looks like the last car on pit road right now. Let's see if we can go for him. Let's see who that is exactly. Oh, looks like they already came down pit road because the 23 car has cycled back to the lead.
Alright. And I want to give a shout out to our boy Buck as well. He's out there broadcasting with him before. Great guy. Wish him the best.
Absolutely. He is a great dude. He's young, as is a lot of guys here at Midnight. Our number one, leading
the
number
89
one draft
into
pick.
the wall, and he's slow on the front stretch. Or the 98, I'm sorry. But he keeps going. Looks like it stays on the green. Sorry to interrupt you there, NRG.
Yeah, you're alright. Who's
that?
I don't have that one on my roster here. I got the 89 of Spanker.
98's Republican there.
Oh.
Unless
he was listed as the number one car last week. He's part-time.
Oh, okay.
Go back to
He's
right
a,
now. The 23 car of Jay Hyper.
truck regular.
The 23 car of Jay Hyper right now has a 3-second lead over the 60
And
car
people
of
to
Destroyer.
grab with.
You know, I
23.
think I was wrong there. That 60 car's not making up much ground now. That 23 had a bit of clean air, but the 23 is coming up on some lap traffic again.
Your top
He
five
is,
right.
but
Your
I
top
think he's
five right
actually
now.
used him to his advantage.
Your top five right now. The 23 of Jay Hyper, and then in second the 60 car of Destroyer. Third place right now is the 22 of Diesel. Fourth right now is the 00 of Bulldog, and followed in fifth by the 16 of RJ Smitty. And actually, it looks like the 16 of RJ Smitty and the 19 car are in a close battle right now, trying to battle for that last top 5 spot.
Yeah, that 19 car, he really was making some bold moves early on in the race. It's cool to see what he's going to do here for this position
16
as he
actually
goes
looks like he
around
got
the 16.
loose.
Yeah, he's going around the 16 on the outside, and he makes a stick.
So move
The
that
19
car
of,
back up into
Noco.
the top 5.
19 Noco. He always has a heat tour, and that's just a reference that we have. But no, he's always fast. He used to be in our Cup Series. He's one of the fastest guys in this series here in our Xfinity series, and I'm actually pretty surprised that he's not up here right now. But Jay Hyper, it doesn't surprise me that he's out front because Jay Hyper's always fast. Every track we go to, he's fast. He puts the time and effort in.
Coming to 6 laps to go right now. He was in the middle.
Man,
He was in the middle of the field in the first and second stage, but so far he has been the story of this third and final stage. But tell you what, though, that 60 car though.
Loose.
That 60
They're
car
a little
though.
tight actually going up.
Tell you what, he is about 2 seconds back now.
Let's see if
They got about a second and a half. Tell you what though, the key for that 60 car is how he can get around that lap traffic of the 3 car.
Cody, you took the
It's
blitz
going
right
to
out
come
of my
down to
mouth.
tires.
Yeah, they can fall off real quick here if Jay took 2.
I think, and Jay
No,
pitted
I'm pretty
early.
sure. Yeah, he did take 4, but he did come in and he pitted about 2, maybe 3 laps earlier than the other guys. We're riding on board right now with the 60 car.
I honestly think that
don't know if he's
Jay's
going to
back
catch
now.
him. Don't know if he's going to catch him, but he is catching him though. But does he have enough laps to do it?
Yeah, Jay has to put those nerves, if he has any. I know he's always up front, so he's probably over nerves, but if he has any, put him behind you, run those laps the best you can. 60 gets around that 3 real cleanly, but that 23 is starting to get a little bigger and bigger in that 60. So
Oh, he's around the lap traffic right now, coming to 2 laps to go. No cars right now in between the first and second place drivers. Make that gap
I
1
think he's gonna
second
get to
now.
him.
Make that gap 1 second between the top
23
2.
up the track out of 2.
23 washes up.
And that thing is plowing up there. He needs to have a clean
We're
exit.
going to have a good finish, fellas, I think.
He needs to have some clean exits here. He's going into the wall off 4.
Here we go. 1 lap to go here at Iowa. Sponsored by Burris Tires. 23 car goes up the track a little bit. 60 car catching him. Don't count seconds now. Start making it counting as car lengths. 1 more corner. 60 car was catching the 23 of Jay Hyper, but not enough. The kid from Florida pulls it off. The 23, Jay Hyper, wins at Iowa.
What a great win.
Good job,
what a great
buddy.
way to hold it off, Jay Hyper. Good job. 60 car, excellent first stage. Excellent job getting back up there. Oh man, that was fun to watch. I kind of got goosebumps.
I thought the 60s would get to him, but he didn't.
2 or 3 more laps, we may have had a different driver that we're going to be interviewing here. But tell you what,
Well, we know who
that
one
was
and two is.
entertaining.
That was
Who was
entertaining.
third? Oh, that was Diesel.
We're going to
Diesel,
get
I
a
believe,
final
was
running
third.
order for you right here. And here we go through our top 10 right now. Start finishing in first, your winner, 23 car J Hyper, followed by a Big D Destroyer in second. Diesel, the number 22, finishes third. Bulldog finishes fourth. The 19 car of Nelco holds on to his top 5. In sixth is Buck Racing in the 61. Seventh from the back in the 88 car. Eighth is RJ Smitty in the 16. Finishing ninth is Racer Sharp in the 3 car. And rounding out your top 10 is the 98 car of Republican. And looking through your remaining contenders, the 89 of Spenker finishes 11th. The 20 of Exterminator in 12th. And our favorite guy up here in the booth with us, because he took the time to join us, NRG in the 21 car. We won't talk about how
I
he
did a
got
great
that
job
position.
today. Got me a top 20.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely. So, alrighty, we're going to take a small, quick break here, real quick, as we get our interviews line up here. This is the Midnight Broadcasting Network from Iowa Speedway. Yeah. You want to get those invites lined up? We need Jay. We need the 60 of Big D Destroyer and the 22 of Diesel.
I hope you guys enjoyed that race. I hope you stick around, and take a listen to these interviews here. See
Was that a
how they
reference?
enjoyed it. What's that?
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. But you know, that was a ton of fun race to watch. Man, that was exciting.
Apparently, I don't have Big D as a friend, but I don't know why. Thought I did. Let me check one more time. I got everybody else. All the last.
No, minimal cautions. Yeah, I love that.
Stage 2 was pretty much all cautions, but in the first stage of the third, man.
Usually third stage is the messiest part, but
Yeah.
hey, we had one clean part here, and here we go. We
Hey,
got
Cody, you want to get this started here, man?
Yeah, we are joined by the kid from Florida, kid in the 23 car, Jay Hyper, pulls off a nail biter here at Iowa Speedway. Jay, you were the dominant car in stage 3, but towards those last couple laps, that 60 car was closing. What was going through your mind?
Well, I knew I didn't have the best car, but I knew I could save my tires a little bit to have the better longer run car, I would say. And that's just what I did. I stretched out the first part of stage 3 and pitted. I basically split it in half, and then I pitted, I pitted, and then I just saved my tires. I wasn't running too hard, made sure I didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, hey, Jay Hyper, man, I gotta say, you were my pick at the beginning of this, so thank you for making that come true. We were watching a lot of you there. It was a little hairy at the end. We really thought that 60 may have had you a few more laps. He really could have. What were you doing in the beginning of the race there? How were you kind of preparing yourself?
The beginning of the race, I was struggling with a tight car on exit, So I made a tire pressure adjustment to make it where I get a little bit more turn off. I think I made it a little bit too loose, so I went back on the adjustment for after stage 2, and then it was just right where I wanted it.
Hey, well, great job with those adjustments, man. You had the crew chief in you to get you that win. Congrats again.
Jay, I gotta
Absolutely.
ask you this one thing before we let you go. In my opinion, the move of the race, we go back to that final restart of stage 3. You had a huge power move off of 2. Describe that setup, describe that move, and your thought process during that.
Man, I made sure my car, like, early run, I was, like, all week practicing for it. I was made sure I could run that outside to get a run on people. And I noticed Bulldog was struggling on the bottom there. So I just kept running the high side, kept gathering momentum. And then once I had the run on him to get underneath him, I just sent it. It stuck. Got by him.
Awesome. Well, Jay, congrats to you. Nice job putting the whooping on these guys. And good luck the rest of the season.
Alright, thank you.
All right, that is your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the 23 car of Jay Hyper. We're going to take a very, very short break here as we get our second place finisher of Big D Destroyer in here. You are watching the Midnight Broadcasting Network from Iowa Speedway. I just invited him.
Before he gets in here, I gotta say, Bulldog is so strong.
He had a really good car. Elko had a good. There was a lot of guys that had good cars. But a lot of guys had good cars on short runs and long runs.
All right. Okay, and go back. And we are back, Midnight Broadcasting Network post-race from Iowa Speedway. Quick reminder for everyone watching, if you enjoyed tonight's race, next week the Burris Moonlight Series will be live at Watkins Glen. We'll talk more about that shortly, but right now we are joined with our second place finisher, Big D Destroyer.
Yes, sir, what's up?
Let me find your car here. Oh, there it is.
Oh man, you had a heater.
Big D. Tell you
Yeah.
what, the finishing order. If the race was if this was the Iowa Hawkeyes 252 or the 254, we may have had a different winner right here. Talk about those final few laps, and when did you think that I may be able to catch the 23 car?
Oh man, you ain't lying about that. If I had 2 more laps, I definitely would have caught him. When we came out of the pits, man, I was 4 seconds back from him. Ended up finishing like 0.7. Oh, it was heart-wrenching. But I realized with like 10 to go, I was chipping it down pretty quick because I knew he pitted quite like 5 or 6 laps before us. A little pack of gaggle cars behind him, and tires are crucial here at Iowa. They fall off so fast. So I knew I would be able to run them down, but man, it was close. So close. But man, it's all good. Second place is good. Good buddy Jay, so if I'm gonna finish second to anyone, I don't mind to finish second to Jay.
Man, we got some good sportsmanship out there. You killed it in that first stage, man. Good job on that, and we were watching you just eat away at that lead at the end. Was it other cars around you, maybe lap cars that kind of held you back a bit? Because you were flying.
Oh, in stage 1 or stage 2?
Oh, after stage 2, when going into stage 3.
After the last part of the race.
Oh, yeah, no one was really holding me back. At the end of stage 2, middle of stage 3, I was kind of saving my tires a little bit. I was kind of laying off, running a little bit slower lap times. I knew the leaders were beating and banging and using all their stuff up. So I waited till about 10-15 laps before we needed to pit, and I caught back up like a second and a half, 2 seconds. So that worked out pretty good for me. And then we all pitted. So I don't know if I could have done things differently. If I would have just ran balls to the wall the whole time, I would have been up there. So I probably could have done things differently, but I feel like I did the best thing strategy-wise that I could have done.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
did a great
say,
job, man.
I gotta say, you
Thank
did. You definitely got the pit road entrance of the night. You won that award. Watching you get down on the pit road like that, slowing up, great job.
And
Yeah.
you got a momentum swing right here. I mean, you finished second place tonight. You just won our Cup Series race. Was that last week or this week?
This past week at Michigan.
Yeah. Everyone ran out of fuel coming off turn 4, and you nailed it, bro. You deserved it. You did a great job there. You did a great job tonight, all around. I wish I'd have been able to race with you, but I screwed up and backed out accidentally.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh
No,
no.
it is. But hey, great job tonight on a second place, and I've always enjoyed racing with you.
Oh yeah,
And
same.
I
Same.
think you're going places here in MBN. I think you're going to be a Cup Series regular before you know it.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. That is your second place finisher, the 60 of Benita Sawyer. And right now we are joined with our third place finisher,
This guy.
the 22 car of Diesel. Let me find his car over here real quick. I feel like I passed it, but I'm just going to keep going.
I want to pronounce his last name right.
There it is.
Diesel Rosgib.
Yep.
Did I nail it or what?
Yeah, you was pretty close. Pretty close.
All right, cool. I tried my best.
So Diesel, I was watching you early on in the race, man, and you seemed like the first guy to be able to ride the outside line, and then you'd ride the inside line through 3 and 4. You were doing a great job. Any line that you chose. How'd you feel about your car?
Well, I would have felt better if I had my race set up in instead of my qualifying setup. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time working on a race setup that gave me good balance. Didn't burn tires off, good long run. And then trying to get all that stuff organized there at the beginning, I just forgot to switch to the race setup. And I still had my qualifying setup in, which was really loose. So I spent the first like 2 stages just making adjustments on the car. And and I was half of it, me running up top, was just trying to figure out what I needed with the car. But there were sometimes I was able to make it work up there.
No, we've seen you in the second stage having a good battle with Bulldog. You guys switched back and forth a couple times, and you know, I was trying to figure out who has the better car, because as you know, just like me, we were Cup regulars at one point. The middle of the track here, it's just not ideal. You ain't gonna make it work. If you can make it work, I mean, props to you. But you guys had a good battle, and then I thought that you were gonna be somebody that was gonna be up there at the end. What happened there?
I mean, I think it just comes back down to me having the wrong setup in. Because, I mean, obviously, when you're out there in practice, you can adjust a whole lot more things. Tweaking with the wedge and tire pressures. I got it good for, like, maybe it was really loose for the first 10 laps, perfect for the next 20, and then after that it was just tight and then snappy loose on exit. So, I mean, that was when I was running with Bulldog there for a while. It just happened to be at the right time. It was in, I stayed out, I think, at one point, and so I had a little bit of wear on my tires, and then I was in that, 10 to 30 lap range where I was pretty good.
Well, you're one of our pro league drivers, and, we know that you're capable of anything, and we respect you a whole lot, and, hey, that's a good third place finish. That long green flag run, man, you just never know what to expect at Iowa. Iowa is one of them tracks where it's just undeterminable. You just never know what's going to happen there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll take a third place. There was a couple of times I barely missed incidents. I split the middle 3 wide one time. Avoided a big wreck one time that happened right behind me, off my bumper. And then there at the end, there was a lap car that was trying to stay out of the way, hit the seam and hit the wall, almost took me out at the end of that long green run. But yeah, I'll take third.
Hey, good job tonight, man.
Yep,
Yeah,
thank you.
great job tonight, Diesel. Appreciate you taking the time to join us post-race, and we'll see you in tomorrow's Cup race at Darlington.
Hey, if I can make it. But yep, y'all did a great job up here. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, thank
I'll
you.
miss you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, as we mentioned tomorrow night, if you enjoyed tonight's racing, catch our Cup Series, the Pocono Raceway Cup Series from Darlington Raceway tomorrow night. And sticking with the theme of Darlington, it is Throwback Night tomorrow night. Hopping back over to the 2018 cars. Put on a show for you guys and running these throwback paint schemes. But so yeah,
do we have Pats running tomorrow night?
I'm not sure. We may have Pats running tomorrow night.
If we have Pats running tomorrow night, you better look out for them.
Alrighty, well
good insight. All right,
there's your spoiler. But yeah, so looking ahead and sticking with this series, next week. Before we talk about next week, what are just some final thoughts from the race from tonight?
Well, I think that it. Yeah, I think that it kind of went the way that we were talking. You know, what are we going to see throughout the race? Are there going to be guys up the track, down the track? Is it going to be spread out? There could be cautions. We saw a little bit of everything, and it was nice having that long stretch at the end. It's crazy how there wasn't a caution, but I think it's still, you know, the cream rises to the top, and we saw that there, and we did have a great finish. That was close if there was another lap or two.
No, absolutely. I think Jay, he had a dominant car, and you know, Big D, as we mentioned multiple times since the end of the race, one or two more laps, we would have had a great finish. It was a great finish regardless. I love seeing no cautions. I love strategy being played in a part of a finish, which we see tonight. So, I mean, with that being said, I think overall it was a pretty good race.
Absolutely, I have to agree with the both of you too. Like, it did kind of suck for those guys on that last restart towards the back of the pack that were involved in that wreck. That no caution came out, but in the end, I still believe it was the two best guys of the night at the end fighting it out. Where you had maybe,
I agree with you there.
I feel like maybe the 60 car probably was better than the 23 car. But the 23 car still was definitely, like the 23 and the 60 car were both in leagues of their own tonight at different stages in the race, and so it was really cool to see those two battle it out. So we move on from Iowa Speedway, and our next race, a little bit different track. We go to Watkins Glen, a totally different animal. Some thoughts as we head into our. I'm not sure this is our first road course of the season, but these are definitely one of our railroad tracks. So yeah, first road course of the season, and I had to tell you, going to keep mentioning his name a lot, but one guy you got to watch there is the 23 of Jay Hyper.
You got to watch out for him at all tracks. But I tell you what, you got a lot of guys on this game that they flourish at the road courses. You know, as far as the roster I'm looking at tonight, guys that go there or, you know, race regularly, Bulldog, Noco, Jay Hyper, you know, those three guys right there. Look for one of them to be out front next week.
Well, something I just want to mention too, that I will be making a start in the 3-car at Watkins Glen next week. So I qualified for. I just kind of really love this. Well, you're talking about road course regulars, and I just really love the road courses.
Well,
and this is actually where I qualified. This is where I qualified for the NASCAR Heat World Challenge. So, but I have to tell you that 23 car is going to be someone who I'm going to be keeping an eye on next week.
Well, you see, I'm telling you right now, if you're out there, you'll be my pick. I'm just going to shut my mouth, and that's my pick for next week because I probably won't be here next week. So there's my pick.
Hey, but one thing I gotta say, with road courses, you never really know. There could be a guy hiding back in the pack of these oval courses who could be the road course ringer, and it's gonna be exciting. I always love road courses. I enjoy running on them. I'm sure these other guys do
Oh,
too.
I
And
do too.
oh yeah, man, it'll be a blast. And I'm pumped, Workman, Cody, get to see you up there, and yeah, I'll be rooting for you as well.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun time tonight, but tonight was all about the 23 car of Jay Hyper. He went to victory lane tonight at Iowa Speedway, but it didn't come without some late race drama with the 60 car who dominated stage one. Made it a fight towards the end, but he was about just 2 or 3 laps short, and the 23 car of Jay Hyper took the win in one of the most exciting races so far in the Brewers Moonlight Series. From all of us here at the Midnight Broadcasting Network, for NRG and I'm gonna botch your name here. That was going so well. That great outro, Nick Narowski.
Fraser.
Nick Narowski. For Nick Narowski, NRG. My name is Cody Workman. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight's Brewers Moonlight Series. We hope to see you guys watch more of our different series, NASCAR series here on NASCAR Heat 3. Tune in tomorrow for the Pocono Raceway Cup series at Darlington, our Chuck series later into the week, and also the Watkins Glen race here next week. Thank you guys again for watching. Congrats again to the 23 car of Jay Hyper.